Hello guys, good morning and welcome in cloudy Berlin. So today we're gonna talk about 296 GTB, and the reason why I'm recording again in another car but Ferrari is because when I was there in Italy, I literally lost my voice. I was slightly ill. That's why I couldn't do any kind of like any chat about the car when I was in Italy. But we are here now and we can talk about the car 296 GTB. And a disclaimer up front is that because I haven't been driving any mid-engine supercar before, so you need to take this review with a grain of salt, because I literally don't have any comparison to this car. And as you can imagine, I will say that car was amazing, and that car was literally amazing. Yeah. So let's jump right in. How was the drive? How was the hybrid powertrain? So let's start with chassis and suspension. The suspension was actually really good. So on the first day we started with the first driving session, which was driving through the city and on a mountain road, so around Fiorano, you know. And we started with Manatino in sport position, and when we left the event location, we put the car in electric drive mode somehow. I don't know why. Ferrari really wanted to show us this kind of like this mode of leaving home quietly. I don't know why. Maybe because the majority of the customers really like to sneak out of their homes. I don't know. Or maybe because this is the first hybrid Ferrari that they ever built. Who knows? So yes, and in the city, as you might all know or not yet know, the road in Italy is not the best road in the world, so it can be bumpy. So there was this kind of like part of the road where they repaired but was not quite repaired yet, but they said it was repaired. So that was kind of like a good testing ground for the suspension. And Manatino was set on on sport, and the bumpy road mode was still off in the beginning, yet the car was quite compliant. Like the suspension was quite compliant. I think I could compare it to the suspension of my M4, I guess, like in the normal mode. That M4 has adaptive suspension, by the way. So yeah, it was not jarring. It was not back braking. So yeah, so this is a car that you can take to the track and use on the track. So yeah, and then afterwards we turn on the bumpy road mode, and I really had no complaint. And I told the instructor more than once, suspension is better than I expected. You know, because it is a mid-engine Italian supercar, and I just didn't expect that the suspension to be that soft. So yes. And how was the hybrid powertrain? In the full electric mode, well, the car moved forward. I mean, you know, right now we are in e-tron. I can say like there was no difference. I mean, it is something nice, I guess. If you want to drive your Ferrari in full electric mode, it can do it. But I think like a lot of people already speculated as well that the hybrid powertrain in 296 GTB is more focused on performance, and you will be right, that is the case. The car itself can go on full electric drive mode for 25 kilometers with 100% battery. But where 296 GTB excels is when you turn on the knob, the second Manatino, to qualifying or to race mode. And in the hybrid mode, the car, how can I put this? The car drives like a normal hybrid, like a Panamera hybrid or Volvo XC90. So every time the car knows that you change the throttle response, so you give more gas, the V6 gonna turn on. And apparently it is kind of like a rule that Ferrari need to follow, which was written by the EU Commission. That's what the guy told me. I literally don't know, so if you know better, let's discuss in the comment section. And let's talk about the engine. The V6 or the small V12, as Ferrari like to say it. The engine is rated as 830 horsepower V6 hybrid engine. Big numbers, I know. It just sounds slightly like V12, like when you really give everything. So on the track, on the long straight, it does sound slightly like V12. Yet you still hear, like you can hear a characteristic sound or note of V6, which is not bad, by the way. I love a good V6. The fact that the engine was behind the driver, behind me, was also added a little bit something to that car, and Ferrari told us that this car is gonna be fun to drive, and yes, it is. It has also like shorter wheelbase in comparison to another Ferrari. Like they never told us in comparison to which one, but it has shorter wheelbase. Means the car is more agile, and every time you like when we were on the mountain road, right? When I gave really like full throttle, I could first thing that I could feel is that the engine rumbles literally behind my back. I could feel it like on my back, and it is so amazing. And when you shift down, you can hear the turbo noise. It's like the turbo noise from MC20. I mean, I haven't driven the Maserati MC20. I just saw a video in YouTube and it sounded like that. So this turbo noise is like, it's like it has certain something to it. It's also like a sound, you know. It's a very typical sound. And in qualifying or race mode, the engine will make that noise. And not only the noise, like you also get the power. And sometimes start from 700 horsepower or 600. It's just numbers, you know. But that car was really quick. And when we are at it, we can talk about the gearbox. The gearbox is actually an upgraded version of the gearbox which was found in Ferrari Roma. So it has 7 gear double clutch gearbox, and it is lighter than the one in Roma, which makes the whole car lighter, I guess. But it shifts also a little bit faster than that gearbox in Roma. Well, the way like I found it out, because when we were driving on the track, it's literally once you pull down the shift gear, or like that pedals, the gear change is instantaneous. It's like you wouldn't miss a gear even on track. And that gearbox literally just make the whole car a really complete package. And as a, let's say like an entry-level for Ferrari mid-engine supercar, 296 GTB is very competent, and I found that the whole car is also like it's a complete package because the suspension is so good. You can take it on the autobahn, on the comfort mode, or on the sport mode in this case, to the track. And once you're on the track, you put the car on most aggressive modes, and the car literally changes its personality. And the whole bundle is priced at 330,000 euro until 400,000 euro. It depends how you configure yours. So you can go for normal 296 GTB without Assetto Fiorano pack. So this is the 296 GTB for daily. I can say yes, you can daily this car. I believe you can. It wouldn't kill you. And 400,000 euro is gonna be 296 GTB with Assetto Fiorano pack with all of the bell and whistles, with the stripes, with the carbon seat, with the carbon wheels, and everything, all of the weight saving measure that Ferrari offers. That's gonna be around 400,000 euro, or even maybe slightly even more. But I already saw in Germany there's already a guy online that tried to sell his 296 GTB for 475,000 euro, 999. That's a lot of money for a normal 296 GTB. And if you want to ask me what's the difference between normal 296 GTB and the one with Assetto Fiorano pack, one main difference is that you cannot have a front lift with Assetto Fiorano pack. So if you get that one, first thing first, you might not be able to go to your garage if it's like in the basement. But the trade-off for that is that 296 GTB with Assetto Fiorano pack does perform better on track. And because like on the track day, on the day 2, we were driving like 3 laps in total, and on the first lap was the demo lap, so they show us how to drive in this Fiorano test track. And on the second lap I was driving a normal 296 GTB, and on the last lap I was driving the one with the Assetto Fiorano pack. I need to be fair, the first lap with the normal one, the instructor was a little bit he was not very cooperative, let me put it that way. So he asked me to put it into the automatic mode, and also like, you know, he didn't ask me to push the car really hard. But on the last lap with the Assetto Fiorano pack, the instructor was really willing to teach me how to drive fast. So that's why I like, you know, as I said before, take this review with like a grain of salt, because I'm really not experienced in, for track days and stuff. And that was actually my first track day. Yeah, first track day with 296 GTB. That's actually quite something. And the clip that I would put after this, I guess, is the one on the first lap, so with the normal 296 GTB. The reason is somehow on the second lap, the instructor asked me like, do you still have the SD card? I'm like, no, I don't. Actually, I left it in the paddock, so there was no recording for that. Yes. So now we can go to the conclusion. 296 GTB. Is it a good car? Is it a real Ferrari? I can tell you, yes, it is. It's a very good car. It is worthy to be a daily drive. The suspension is good enough, and it is also a plug-in hybrid Ferrari. So it is quite quirky. It's quite unique. So I guess if you have the money and you don't have a track weapon yet, or you want to be quite different and put your Ferrari into like a charging station, you can get that one. And yeah, and it's just quite amazing, because Ferrari says like it is a fun to drive car, and it was literally fun to drive. And I think it's a bonus that you can take this car to the track and drive it on the track and get home with the same car. And yeah, the gearbox was amazing. It shifts really fast, and it just makes the whole experience of the car, it just completes the whole picture. The hybrid system, it charges itself very fast, and there was no problem from changing from electric mode to the normal mode. And I think like only time will tell if this hybrid powertrain from Ferrari is a good one or not. But if you're looking for a physics mid-engine supercar, 296 GTB is the right one. It's the right car to be considered. 830 horsepower, and it drives really nicely. And I think at this time when you order one, you're gonna wait for around 18 until 24 months, and the price retail is rated at 300 until 400,000 euro. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any future video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Ciao.